On World News Tonight this Wednesday, a glimmer of hope for millions of people who live with Alzheimer's disease. A major legal decision against the tobacco industry. On the road with the Clintons, the president talks about the future with Native Americans. Mrs. Clinton campaigns for a future seat in the Senate. And not enough planes, not enough people. That's the U.S. Air Force after Kosovo. We'll take a closer look.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We're going to begin tonight with the very best news there has been in many years, perhaps ever, about one of the most debilitating chronic diseases that haunts us. At any given time, about 4 million Americans and the people who love them are suffering through Alzheimer's disease. Think of a husband or a wife watching their partner disappear on them emotionally. The body is still here, but the mind has gone somewhere else. There has been virtually no effective treatment, but tomorrow, in the journal Nature, scientists will report that they've completed the first step in the process of finding a vaccine that may actually prevent Alzheimer's. And while it may be a long road, the experts are encouraged. First, here's ABC's John McKenzie.
Alzheimer's disease is a gradual, unrelenting decay of the brain. At first, people forget familiar names and places. Over time, they forget how to read and talk and take care of themselves.
Good.
In Alzheimer's disease, the brain becomes clogged with plaque, these hardened clusters that appear to damage or disrupt nerve cells. Now, scientists may have found a way to stop these deposits from ever developing.
I've been involved in treatment and research in Alzheimer's disease for almost 20 years. I would rate this as one of the most important potential discoveries that there has been.
It began here at a pharmaceutical company in South San Francisco, when scientists asked a simple question: why not activate the body's own defense system to fight these plaque deposits?
The idea just happened one day. I was thinking perhaps we can stimulate the immune system to actually target the plaque.
First, the scientists bred mice with a human Alzheimer's gene, so they would eventually produce that same plaque in the same parts of the brain. Then researchers took some of these mice at a very early age, before there was any sign of disease, and injected them with a small dose of that same plaque material, in essence giving them a plaque vaccine.
Just like you would for measles or polio or what have you, you do an injection. It's a heads up to the immune system to now go after this plaque material in the brain.
Scientists do not know why the immune system doesn't do this naturally, but with a vaccine, the results were dramatic. These research slides show the brain of an untreated mouse develop the plaque, the damaged nerve cells, the signs of inflammation, all characteristics of Alzheimer's disease. Compare that to a mouse that was treated with a vaccine. No plaque, no damaged nerve cells, no signs of inflammation.
This is the first study I've seen where there seems to be really remarkable proof that the plaques have stopped being deposited. So I think it's a breakthrough.
The study showed that the vaccine, even given after some plaque buildup had begun, could prevent it from getting worse. And in some mice, the plaque deposits were significantly reduced. There are many examples of therapies that worked in mice but were not effective in humans. And there are critical questions about this Alzheimer's vaccine still to be answered. For example, would it be safe in humans? And even if it rid the brain of plaque, would that be enough to protect someone's memory or preserve a personality? The company plans to ask the Food and Drug Administration in the next few months to begin testing this vaccine on people. John McKenzie, ABC News, South San Francisco.
There are several more statistics which help us understand the dimension of Alzheimer's. This year, the government will spend about $400 million on research, and if these latest developments show the promise they believe, there will be pressure to spend more. 1 in 10 people who suffer from Alzheimer's is over 65. The disease is progressive, which means a terrible burden for families. As an Alzheimer's patient becomes more disoriented, they need more and more care, which may cost as much as $70,000 a year in a nursing home. Most Alzheimer's patients, however, live at home. And if he or she lives for 8 years, which is the average, the cost of home care is about $175,000. a chronic disease, a burden for all. So we said at the beginning the scientists are very excited about the talk of a vaccine. A little while ago we talked to Dr. Ronald Peterson, the director of the Alzheimer's Center at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. Dr. Peterson, how excited should people be about this news?
Well, potentially this could be very exciting news for the field of Alzheimer's disease and Alzheimer's disease research. It may, in fact, turn the field in a different direction with regard to finding treatments down the road.
Which means?
Heretofore, we've been looking at patients after they've developed the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease and have been trying to treat them with various drugs and maneuvers. This study implies that perhaps we may be able to prevent the disease or even reverse the disease after some of the damage has been done.
I know there can be a very long distance in time and every other respect between mice and humans, but people will be anxious to know if this is a silver bullet.
It has the potential of being a silver bullet. I say that with some caution because a good deal of research needs to be done following this work. It needs to be replicated and then perhaps even moved into the human.
Given your experience with the disease, are we talking years and years or possibly years?
I could see where if this work is replicated very soon in other animal laboratories that it could move into the clinics in a matter of a few years, and possibly the research could be done in 2 to 3, 4 years.
Major news and more about it later this evening on Nightline. In Miami today, there's been a milestone in the legal battle against the tobacco industry. A jury has ruled that the cigarette makers did produce a defective product that caused serious illness, and they lied about it. This is the first class action suit against the tobacco companies which has actually proceeded to trial, and it's a big one. From Miami, ABC's Steve Osunsami.
Jurors entering the courtroom.
What jurors have decided is a legal breakthrough that could cost big tobacco hundreds of billions of dollars.
Does smoking cigarettes cause one
that cigarettes are addictive, cause a number of illnesses.
Pharyngeal cancer, yes. Stomach cancer, yes.
And that tobacco companies hid the truth.
The agreement was to lie and lie and lie about causation and addiction over and over and over again over decades.
No other settlement so far, no other case has cost tobacco more.
This verdict would be probably the nuclear bomb compared to bows and arrows.
Today's verdict means Florida smokers and their families will no longer have to prove that cigarettes cause certain illnesses before they can go after damages. That makes collecting awards easier for as many as 2 million Florida residents. For the past 9 months of trial, tobacco attorneys argued that smokers knew the risks of their behavior and don't deserve payment.
People smoke because they like to smoke. They like the taste. They like the way it feels.
These same lawyers believe state courts will now fill with smokers who smell opportunity. But anti-tobacco groups say complaints will be heard quickly because tobacco's liability has already been established. Still, smokers here will have to wait to learn how much they can collect and when. Those answers will come in the next 2 phases of trial. Steve Osunsami, ABC News, Miami.
On the subject of safety, there's been another series of crash tests to see how safe sport utility vehicles are. The insurance industry, which conducted the tests, gave 3 mid-sized SUVs, the Mercedes, the Lexus, and the Toyota 4Runner, the highest rating for their ability to protect the driver. The worst performers with the Mitsubishi Montero Sport, the Chevy Blazer, and the Oldsmobile Bravada. What is it about Delta Airlines? Another case of customer dissatisfaction, and a big one. The Transportation Department says that Delta bumped more than 8,000 passengers from overbooked flights in the first 3 months of this year who didn't volunteer to be bumped. That's almost as many as the 9 other major carriers combined. When we come back, on the poverty trail with the president and on the campaign trail with his wife.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Bayer.
All right, kid. Here we go. 10-9. What do you got? What do you got? What? Yeah. All right, come on, come on.
What would you do if someone you loved had a heart attack?
Yeah.
Did you know it's now been proven that the same Bayer aspirin you have in your bag for muscle aches may actually help stop you from dying if you take it during a heart attack?
Downtown. Lucky shot.
Can your pain reliever do that? Talk to your doctor now.
Next time I'll go easier on you.
Bayer, powerful pain relief and so much more.
We know all about it. Some people throw away the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes without even opening it up. Well, this week, that could be a costly mistake. Because this week, if you throw away a Publishers Clearinghouse envelope with this green star, you could be throwing away a real check for $100,000. There are thousands of real checks right inside selected envelopes marked with a green star. Checks you can take right to the bank. So watch for a Publishers Clearinghouse envelope with a green star. There could be a real check inside.
Hey, Dad, what are you doing up?
Reliving your mother's stuffed peppers.
Hartford again, huh? What are you taking?
Tums, and I'm back for more.
You still taking that stuff? Look, Dad, take a Pepsid AC. One tiny pill controls acid all night.
So I can get some sleep.
Next time, take one before dinner, and you can stop heartburn before it starts.
Before it starts?
You don't see me suffering, do you?
What are you guys doing now?
Nothing, dear. We were talking about your peppers.
Peppers, yeah.
I got some in the fridge.
You can sleep heartburn-free with Pepsid AC.
With Days Inn hotels in over 1,800 cities and towns, there's bound to be one where you're headed. You can pretty much bet on it. Days Inn. There you go.
There's nutrition news about heart disease. The B vitamin folic acid may help reduce homocysteine levels in the blood, an emerging risk factor for heart disease. And Centrum Silver has folic acid.
Centrum Silver. It's a great time to be silver.
On the president's poverty trail today, Mr. Clinton went to the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota to meet the Oglala Lakota Nation, to call the American nation's attention to their deep poverty and very high unemployment, 75% unemployment. This is the first presidential visit to an Indian reservation in 60 years. Mr. Clinton said today, time to put away what he calls the pretty words and encourage private investment for Native Americans. ABC's John Cochran is there as well.
2 of the 5 poorest counties in America are located in the vast Pine Ridge Reservation. People here do enjoy some of the last frontier land in America, but that was not enough for Emily Bullbear. Emily became the first member of her family ever to own a business. She finally got her startup loan from a charitable foundation after banks turned her down.
Do you know what you want to order?
She believes banks rejected her because she is a Native American.
Made me sick to my stomach. I can't hide. I can't say I'm Spanish or, I'm Native American. I look at my last name. I'm Native American, and that has a lot to do with it.
While the people of Pine Ridge certainly want companies, large or small, to locate here, they would much rather have the opportunity to start their own businesses so that the profits would stay here.
So today they hoped the president meant it when he said,
"We will give you the tools and the support to get done what you want to do for your children and their future."
They told him the government is not doing enough to help Native Americans get loans and not enough to help them overcome a special problem: alcoholism.
Without addressing alcoholism, the economics won't work.
Patty Poirier and her husband Bat are recovering alcoholics who now own a gas station and convenience store. They say it is a scandal that the government has not provided a treatment center in a place with an 80% alcoholism rate. Bat says it is difficult for him to find workers who can overcome their drinking.
That's going to discourage people from coming in and investing in this area.
Well, they might as well know up front that that's a very thing that will destroy them.
Still, there are plenty of people eager to show outsiders they can be good workers.
Made me more determined to show them I can do this, and I'm going to do this with or without you.
The people of Pine Ridge say outsiders who do invest here must be patient, that the Indian culture is still adapting to the world of commerce, but is making progress. Emily Bullbear says, "My great-grandparents lived in a teepee, and look at me now." John Cochran, ABC News, Pine Ridge, South Dakota.
We'll get to Mrs. Clinton a little later in the broadcast. On the money tonight, a sizzling economy notwithstanding, it looks like there may be a record for the number of layoffs this year. According to the Challenger Jobs Survey, more than 380,000 people were laid off in the first half of the year. The job market is so strong that many companies are trying to hold down wages by cutting employees and outsourcing some of the work. The vending machine industry is trying to grow. The latest machines dispense underwear, office supplies, and CDs. One company is using converted cigarette machines, which are banned in some places now, to sell art. It helps to see it. On Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was up more than 52 points to close at 11,187, and on the NASDAQ, stocks were up just over 6 points. There's another problem with the Russian space station. This time it is a leak on Mir, which has people worried, and we hear from a reliable source that they cannot find the cause, though corrosion in Mir's aging hull is suspected. There's no immediate threat to the 2 Russians and a Frenchman on board, but if they cannot fix the leak, the Russians would bring the crew down in a space capsule, which is docked at the station. In Rome today, a world record mile. No human has ever run a mile faster. Hicham El Guerrouj of Morocco, in the blue jersey, ran the mile in 3 minutes 43 seconds. That beats the old record set in 1993 by more than a second. The first mile, under 4 minutes, was run by Roger Bannister, and that is now 45 years ago. In a moment, why is the Air Force asking for a break? We'll take a closer look.
I'm not a person who rushes into things until they're great. Like this new fabric spray, Resolve Fabric Refresher. It gets rid of odors safely and permanently, and dries fast. See, Resolve removes the toughest odors with a gentle mist. Your sofa's not only fresh smelling, in minutes it's dry. New quick drying Resolve Fabric Refresher. Why wait? It's in your laundry aisle now.
Great meal.
Uh-oh, gas pressure. What now? What else? Gas-X, with the most powerful medicine for fast relief. Nothing works faster.
Hey, wanna go for ice cream?
Gas-X, the power to fight gas fast.
Max is a mighty dog. That's why he gets new Mighty Dog carved beef and gravy, tender slices and savory gravy to give Max all the energy he needs. New Mighty Dog carved beef and carved beef with pasta. Mighty Dog from Friskies.
Nobody does it like you.
She deserves a carpet that's deep down clean. And only Hoover gives you wind tunnel technology. Power to pick up more dirt than any other clean air upright. Hoover. Deep down, you want Hoover.
Why wait till you get a blister to do something about it? Blister-proof your feet with Band-Aid brand blister block cushions. They hug your foot like a second skin, stopping blisters before they stop you. Band-Aid brand blister block cushions.
It's barbecue season, the busiest time of the year for your deck, which is why you should protect it with Thompson's Wood Protector. Nothing we make works harder, longer. For rain, sun, mildew, or low-flying meat, Thompson's Wood Protector, it never takes a day off.
Ask your doctor about Viagra.
Air power is our subject tonight, air power and fatigue. The success of air power against Yugoslavia confounded a great many people who believed it wouldn't be enough to force the Serbs out of Kosovo, but it was. In a campaign which lasted 78 days, NATO flew 35,000 individual missions using 1,000 planes, which delivered 23,000 bombs and missiles aimed at targets all over Yugoslavia. The overwhelming amount of work was done by the United States, and we're going to take a closer look at the Air Force tonight because its commanders say the Air Force is exhausted. Here's ABC's John McWethy.
At air bases across the country, they return to emotional reunions. For America's high-technology Air Force, the campaign against Yugoslavia was a dominant, overwhelming performance. But the victory has come at a price. Some Air Force people felt even before Kosovo that they were stretched to the breaking point, constantly patrolling the skies over Iraq and always on alert against North Korea. To handle Kosovo meant digging deeply into reserves of people and equipment. Many bases in the U.S. were gutted.
50% of our equipment's gone and 50% of our people.
So many specialty aircraft like U-2 spy planes, airborne command posts, and the Joint Stars and AWACS radar planes were rushed to Kosovo that there were few left for training and backup elsewhere in the world. For frontline fighters, regular maintenance was skipped to keep more planes in the air. Now there is a huge backlog of needed repairs.
We end up working harder with less people to try to maintain those aircraft.
So if a relatively small conflict like Kosovo could cause such strain, the U.S. Air Force is worried that it may not be able to handle two bigger wars simultaneously, which is what the Pentagon says, in theory, the U.S. military should be able to do.
One could postulate a number of scenarios that would run us out of assets, but hopefully we won't come to that situation. But it's a fairly thin force.
And it could get thinner if good people say they've had enough. For those who were sent overseas, it was another exhausting separation from family.
After about 4 days, you're just beat. I mean, you're just completely beat.
Then it continued for 2 months. For those left at home, it also meant more work.
Your hours are extended, and your family life starts to suffer.
Everybody that's come up for enlistment in the shop has walked.
There's only two ways to fix it, near as I can tell. Either you don't have as many conflicts, or you have more resources to throw at the problem.
Air Force leaders say their people and planes are so worn out that for the first time in decades, they are pleading for a break of up to 6 months to recover, pleading with the Navy and Marine Corps to temporarily cover for them overseas. Pentagon sources say the Air Force, which probably will be getting more money, is not likely to get much of a break. Its leaders will have to figure out some other way to rest and repair the force and keep its best people, hoping there is not another war anytime soon. John McWethy, ABC News, Shaw Air Force Base in South Carolina.
Our closer look for today. When we come back, the candidate.
Here they come. Surprise! I made your old favorite pepperoni.
I can't eat that now.
Oh. This can't be Charlie.
I didn't take my Pepcid. I gotta wait.
Then we all wait.
Take my Tagamet. You could eat now.
Hey, Tagamet has a better way to avoid heartburn. Not before, not after. Now. You can take Tagamet right when you're going to eat and still prevent heartburn.
Same old Charlie.
With Tagamet, you can eat like a kid again.
In this envelope with a green star could be a real check for $25,000. In this one could be $100,000. This week there are thousands of real checks in selected Publishers Clearinghouse envelopes with a green star. Watch your mail.
I don't just paste my dentures anymore. Now I bond them with C-Bond denture adhesive.
Only C-Bond is a soft, micro-thin seal with 2 powerful adhesives that bond dentures to your gums, so they can hold and fit comfortably all day.
I can bite and chew with confidence.
Easy to remove, no messy cleanups. Bond your dentures with C-Bond. And now discover C-Bond Natural Fresh all-day bonding power with natural mint freshness for fresher breath.
Hi, I have a question about buying stock. What's the difference between a market order and a limit order? Hello? Excuse me.
When you have an investment question, does your online brokerage have anybody there to answer it? We do.
It's not funny anymore.
Let's try the hefty 1-zips, please.
You ever have to make up your mind to pick up on fun and leave?
It's easy. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Now let's try the other bag, please. No, ma'am. That's still the hefty 1-zip. Please put down the hefty 1-zip. Can you hear me in there?
You ever have to make up your mind.
Hey, you know what?
What?
I'm out of 1-zips. Could I have some more?
Hefty 1-zip slider bags. You slide it, you're done.
With Days Inn hotels in over 1,800 cities and towns, you can go as far as you want. We'll always be right down the lane. Days Inn. There you go.
Every day you give from your heart. So every day, keep your heart healthy by lowering cholesterol. Oatmeal Crisp has soluble fiber that may help lower your cholesterol, plus delicious clusters of oats, sweet raisins, and brown sugar. Your heart does so much for you. Make Oatmeal Crisp a part of your heart-healthy diet and return the favor. Oatmeal Crisp. It's your heart's desire.
Tonight, they thought their child was in loving hands,
I hit the play button, and my whole world turned upside down.
but their nanny was charged with abuse when they saw this. What's happening in your home when you're not there? 2020 tonight.
Just a brief review of our top story. Scientists say they've developed a vaccine that may one day help prevent Alzheimer's disease that affects 1 in 10 people over 65. So far, only tested on mice, but they're encouraged. Finally, from us this evening, a political adventure begins. In upstate New York today, Hillary Clinton unfolded her garment bags and embarked on a very carefully planned courtship. As the first lady to run for elected office, Mrs. Clinton, as you know, is already getting a great deal of attention from the media. Now comes the long and sometimes painful process of trying to bond with New Yorkers. ABC's Dean Reynolds was there for the opening.
On a sunny morning near the Catskill Mountains, Hillary Clinton took her first serious step on a very long road. Accompanied by the man she hopes to succeed, Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan, the First Lady began this courtship of a place she has never called home.
Now, I suppose the questions on everyone's mind is why the Senate, and why New York, and why me?
She got the questions right and had a well-planned answer.
I think I have some real work to do to get out and listen and learn from the people of New York and demonstrate that what I'm for is maybe as important, if not more important, than where I'm from.
She has her own Hillary in 2000 website now, no primary challengers in view, and universal name recognition. Her choice of upstate New York for today's events, including a stop at the Soccer Hall of Fame, was designed to build a bridge to this predominantly Republican part of the state.
Go on, Hillary!
Some spectators were friendly, but others were not.
Go home, Hillary!
I don't think New York needs her. We've survived without her and we continue to.
Mrs. Clinton said she will spend the next few months listening to New Yorkers about issues, building up expertise in intimate settings that may deflect charges that she is an opportunistic outsider. Her first attempt at that today had at least the look of intimacy, though cameras from around the world foreshadowed the kind of scrutiny she had better expect. Mrs. Clinton did something on the campaign trail today that is completely new for her. She spoke about her beliefs and her issues, and all with hardly a mention of her husband. Dean Reynolds, ABC News, Oneonta, New York.
That is our report on World News Tonight. Don't forget 2020 later on Nightline, more about Alzheimer's disease. I'm Peter Jennings. We hope you have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Tomorrow, they need medicine to stay alive. They can't afford it. Who's to blame when medicine is denied? Watch World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABCNews.com, now a part of the Go Network.
Oh, Drew's dating a co-ed. Sounds like he's robbing the cradle.
Actually, she's 62.
Oh my God, he's robbing the Craftmatic adjustable bed.
The Drew Carey Show, ABC Tonight.